Ladies and gentlemen, sailors, officers, and citizens of the United States, tonight I stand before you with a message of vigilance, strength, and resolve. Intelligence reports confirm that 1,400 missiles have been mobilized with Venezuela at the center of this storm. The world is watching closely, but know this: the U.S. Navy is not watching. We are moving. We are prepared. We are on alert. Intelligence reports have confirmed the mobilization of 1,400 missiles, and with that number comes a message written in the language of intimidation. But intimidation only works on the unprepared, and the United States Navy is never unprepared. When threats multiply, when the storm gathers at sea, we do not retreat, we do not hesitate, we rise. This is not a simple update in global security. This is a turning point where vigilance becomes action, and action becomes deterrence. The Navy force has moved into full alert, every fleet synchronized, every watch intensified, every commander locked into their mission. When the number 1,400 is spoken, adversaries hope it sparks fear. Instead, it sparks readiness. Instead, it fuels the machine of discipline, technology, and strength that is the United States Navy. Make no mistake, the ocean does not bend to the will of missiles, it bends to the presence of power. And in these waters, that power is ours. Hooks must be made clear to both allies and rivals. For every missile counted, we count on our sailors. For every threat that rises, we raise our readiness. For every attempt to shake stability, we answer with overwhelming precision. The Navy force is not measured by the numbers it faces, but by the unshakable resolve it carries. We are not here to escalate. We are here to make escalation impossible. Picture the horizon tonight: carrier decks lit, radar systems humming, destroyers moving in formation, submarines gliding silently below. This is not a fleet waiting to react. This is a shield already raised, a force already positioned, a presence that tells the world nothing gets through. To those who would attempt to use 1,400 missiles as leverage, remember this: leverage only works when the other side is off balance. And the Navy force does not lose balance. It does not blink. It does not break. So let them count missiles. We count on sailors, on discipline, on unmatched readiness. We are the storm that steadies the seas, the force that guarantees freedom, and the shield that ensures those missiles remain nothing more than empty threats against the horizon. United States. Across the oceans, our carrier strike groups stand as more than steel and firepower. They stand as living symbols of American reach, precision, and determination. These floating fortresses are not simply ships on the water. They are cities of strength, moving arsenals of security and visible proof that when the Navy force deploys, deterrence follows. Every deck carries aircraft armed and ready. Every corridor carries the footsteps of sailors who know their role in history, and every command center pulses with the energy of vigilance. When a carrier strike group enters a region, the atmosphere changes. The sea recognizes authority, adversaries recognize consequence, and allies recognize reassurance. To understand the gravity of these deployments, picture the horizon lit by the silhouette of a carrier at dusk. Aircraft rise into the sky with a thunder that shakes the waves, destroyers sail in perfect formation, and submarines glide silently in protective shadows below. This is not just presence, it is projection. It is a message written in the language of action. We are here, we are ready, and nothing will slip past the shield we provide. No fleet on Earth carries this level of dominance. No adversary can match the coordination, and no threat can ignore the weight of our presence. The hook is simple but unshakable. Wherever these strike groups sail, escalation stops before it starts. To those who count missiles, know that we count aircraft, precision-guided munitions, and layers of defense ready to intercept at any moment. To those who calculate distance, understand that there is no distance beyond the reach of a carrier's aircraft. To those who hope for hesitation, know that hesitation is not in the Navy's vocabulary. Each carrier strike group carries with it not just power but the will of a nation. It tells every ally that America stands with them, and it tells every adversary that America stands against aggression. These strike groups are not built to intimidate, they are built to guarantee. They are the bridge between peace and war, between freedom and oppression, and they make it clear. The seas remain secure not by chance but by choice, and that choice is enforced by the Navy force, United States. Every shield has its test, and every test reveals the strength of its design. The United States Navy's missile defense systems are not merely a precaution. They are the silent guardians of every fleet, the invisible net stretched across the horizon, and the ultimate line that ensures no strike finds its mark. When threats rise, when 1,400 missiles loom as numbers meant to intimidate, the truth is simple. Our systems are already locked, calibrated, and ready to neutralize anything that dares breach the line of security. On the decks of our Aegis destroyers, radar arrays sweep the skies with eyes sharper than any adversary can hide from. Interceptor systems are primed, computers running calculations faster than thought, sailors at their stations trained for the moment when seconds make the difference between impact and interception. This is not a guessing game. It is a science of precision, a discipline of vigilance, and a mastery of technology honed by decades of dominance at sea. The Navy force does not wait for the missile to fall. It ensures the missile never arrives. The hook is powerful because it is undeniable. Every missile they launch becomes a message they cannot deliver. Our defense is not a shield of reaction but a wall of prevention. To those who believe in the shock of missile fire, we respond with the certainty of interception. To those who put faith in overwhelming numbers, we show them that numbers mean nothing against readiness. To those who count on fear, we remind them that fear cannot pierce steel, cannot outrun precision, and cannot break resolve. From destroyers to cruisers, from carriers to submarines linked in silent coordination, every vessel adds to the web of security that stretches across the waters. This network is not visible to the eye, but its presence is unmistakable. Adversaries know it, allies trust it, and the Navy force sustains it every hour, every mile, every second. So let them boast of missiles, let them parade their arsenals. In the end, the only parade that matters is the one that never happens, the parade of destruction stopped before it begins. Because when our defense systems are engaged, the horizon is not a place of fear, it is a place of certainty. And certainty is what the Navy force delivers, United States. Beneath the surface of the world's oceans moves a power unseen, a force that does not need to be loud to be feared. The Navy's submarine fleet operates in silence, but its silence is thunder to those who understand what it means. These vessels are the hunters of the deep, the unseen guardians who move through international waters like shadows, carrying with them the ability to end any threat before that threat ever sees them coming. While adversaries point to missile counts and surface strength, they know nothing shakes confidence like the knowledge that a submarine could be anywhere at any time, tracking, watching, preparing. Each submarine is an apex predator of the seas, armed with the kind of precision weaponry that can change the balance of power in an instant. Their silence is not weakness, it is dominance. The ocean itself becomes their camouflage, their ally, their shield, allowing them to patrol undetected, yet always in control. The hook lies in the very uncertainty they create. Rivals cannot track them, cannot see them, cannot know when they are near. And that unknown becomes the greatest deterrent. Every move an adversary makes must be second-guessed, because beneath their feet may lie a submarine with the firepower to dismantle their plans before they begin. That constant doubt is not accidental. It is engineered, cultivated, and maintained by the Navy force as part of our strategy to stay one step ahead always. Life aboard these submarines is a testament to discipline and endurance. Sailors serve in tight quarters, with no horizon to see, no sunlight to guide them, but with absolute clarity of mission. They know that their presence, though invisible, shapes the decisions of nations, tips the balance of conflicts, and secures the freedom of millions who will never see them or know their names. It is silent service, but its impact roars across the globe. So let adversaries count missiles above the waves. Beneath those same waters, submarines glide with patience, precision, and unstoppable resolve. They are not waiting to be found, they are already in place. And when the time comes, their silence will break with decisive force, reminding the world that the Navy force does not need to be seen to be in control. United States. Across the hemisphere, nations look to the seas not just for commerce and connection, but for security. And when those waters grow uncertain, when threats appear on the horizon, it is the Navy force that transforms uncertainty into assurance. Our allies know this truth. When American ships arrive, they do not come alone. They bring with them the full weight of a promise, the promise that freedom will not stand unguarded, that aggression will not go unanswered, and that no nation stands isolated when the United States Navy sails beside them. The presence of our fleet is not simply military strength, it is a living guarantee. Carrier strike groups, destroyers, submarines,